Hello, everybody. How's it going this week? Looks like we got a couple of people in the chat there already. Cheryl, always good to see you. Every time Cousin Mike comes over and I got to tell him, hey, tell Cheryl hi. And speaking of Cousin Mike, he just come on in there, Landing Customs, and Stephen Holtz, Mr. Just Drive It. So how's it all going? Well, tonight, totally open mic. We're just going to talk about everything that we're doing for this next year's build. So anything you want to talk about, or if you want to join on in, come on in. We'll talk about it. Hey, SO, always good to see you, man. So as you can see, I'm kind of neck deep in that learning process on this little dart. Jim's, if it ain't broke, fix it. I love that name. Great to see you. Boy, those little Mopar's a little different to play with, I'm seeing. Putting out fires at the house. I bought another Mopar. Whoop. Shh. What'd you get there, Stephen? If you wanna let the cat out of the bag anyway, or if you want to stomp a few fires out first. Boy, once again, these early A bodies. Yeah, I can see why all of you were saying, woo, you're going to have fun with that one. Boy, are they light. A 74 Plymouth Cuda, huh? 74, that's an interesting year at Cuda. I can't even think what a 74 looks like offhand. 71, of course, everybody knows the four-eyed. 71, 72, my stepdad had a 72 for a while. 74, I can't think of what they look like. That was the last year of them. Is that when they started to go back and look more like a regular car? Like a 70 Mustang. Oh, when Mustang got big. Yeah. I had a friend that was a Mopar fan, but his daily driver has a Chevy. Go figure. Oh. Yeah, that's the beauty of cars, though. When you open your mind to all of them, they're all good. Well, there's cutoff years, but really, in the classic era, I gotta say they were all good. It's just depending on which direction you're wanting to go. And I love that about cars. They're so personal. '70 in Guatemala. 70 through up until the Mustang 2 launch. Those were hard Mustangs to like, in my opinion. Boy, they got big. They got big and they got even heavier. It's going to sound a little strange, but I actually like the Mustang 2 better. It went back to its roots of a small car. But they neutered it by sticking a 4-cylinder in it. The Mustang 2, in my opinion, had a lot of potential, and then they stopped halfway. Of course, all of them through the 70s when emissions hit and all of that, yeah, they all kind of got neutered. But that was from the looks point of it, it still kind of went back and kind of tried to pick up on the old original first Mustang for the Mustang 2. And the front end design was phenomenal. So thank you for the engine placement from the rat rod standpoint on the last video. No problem, Stephen. That is, oh, that'll make or break a car right there. It's really strange how much it changes and how little you move that engine will change everything. That 39 Chevy that I started my channel with, I almost screwed up and stuck it too far back because I couldn't get springs light enough to bring it was up on the top of the control arms, even with everything in the car. It wouldn't come down off the suspension. We really had to work that to drop it down. And I only moved that back 4 inches. Took all that weight and put it right back to the rear end. I remember back in the late 50s, early 60s, that class of, I'd call them the first funny cars. It's when they took the engine and stuck it so far back, it was actually in the front seat of the car. You rode in with the engine and you sat in the back seat and you drove the car from the back seat. They stuck them so far back and the drive shaft on them was tiny. Boy, those things would hook up. But yeah, you can kind of see why that class didn't last too long, because you were literally sitting next to that engine. Didn't need a throttle. You could just reach up and grab the linkage on the carburetor. You could adjust the timing like you're putting your coffee cup in the cup holder. Had a chance to sit in one at Bonneville. There was one of them that came out there for the classic run, and it was wild, crazy build. A gasser setup, but like I said, the engine was clear back inside of the car. That's a good one. Hey, mofo, good to see you again. I sure hope you get that transmission figured out. Be thankful it's only one for an automatic. Try doing that on a 300 tree. Yeah, they do that too. Hey, Rich 220, what's going on, man?
Not much. I figured I'd use this too. Why not? No.
Sure, come on in.
So I got to check out what you've been working on lately, and probably a thumbs up on that. I'll guarantee you.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
No thumbs down. Come on now.
Just wait till you see what's going on.
You think I want to hit it that much? Yeah. Heck, after all
when you're doing these videos and stuff, don't get worried about the thumbs down. They count exactly the same as a thumbs up.
This way, even with the thumbs down, they're still watching.
They're still watching. Yep. So just don't let it get into your head.
No.
And good golly, everybody knows you can't please everybody.
Well, like everybody has their, their own flavor of car and way of doing things, Your way may not be the way I do it. My way maybe not the way you do it. It is what it is.
Hey, Jason, good to see you, man. Oh, and since we got Jason on here, this whole dart build is kind of focused around about the time I met Jason. So as you're watching this whole build come together, it's actually me paying homage to all 42 of you, all 42 subscribers I had before the No Name National started last year. So you're going to see some different things with this build.
Now wait a minute, BareRose, is Jason an ex race car driver?
Yeah.
Okay. The other guy that he was in a live with when I was with them, he's also a race car driver.
Probably.
but that's the guy that I was telling you was getting drunk.
It happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not banging on it for him drinking. I mean, hell,
I know.
we all have our vices. That's his thing, let him do it. But I'm just remembering what he did. That's all, Nothing wrong with it.
Lives all night. We're livening this place up. Good to see you, 38. Rusted Junk Garage. That is just one of the perfect names right there.
Yeah, right. Hey, we're all working on rusted junk. What do you want?
Yep. Hey, 162 Jeff, how's it going, man? And I am so far behind in my comments and everything. Boy, when I did that one on asking, kind of showing how my thought process works and everything, and it kind of left the door open for anybody to do suggestions. Wow, you guys lit my comments up. So I'm a little behind on them, but I'm getting to them.
Yeah, I'm getting more people to interact. I mean, you got Bubba Ayers, and quite a few others that were busting my chops earlier over in Buck's Live. And I take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's not.
That's what you got to do. Everybody's got their own style.
It's all in fun. That's all.
And your own way to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get into the customizing, you're customizing it for you.
That's right.
You're changing the car to fit what you're looking at for it to do. So,
yeah, well, you put a headliner in, didn't you?
What's that?
Did you see the one where I was putting the headliner in on the 57?
I didn't yet. I did. I've got it up on my little 4 watch laters that, wow, I got a bunch of them to watch in there.
Yeah, I seen, what was it?
It was an older one, right?
The 57?
One of your older ones?
It's a 57 Chevy. Yeah, it's not that old, though. It was only a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, it was a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah. I mean, today I did a video of the 69 olds, talking about No Name Nationals, so. I'll tell you one thing I do like, though. If you ever seen Poor Boy's Garage, that car that he used at No Name Nationals, man, that thing is badass.
Oh, yeah. And it will move.
It had no motor in it, nothing. He put that thing together himself. That thing is like perfect.
And you see it in person. Yeah. That's a beautiful car.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe they left it like that.
But he does. And again, I'm a rat rodder. Total diehard rat rodder.
Well, you've seen what his other videos are recently. He's been saving, what the heck was it? A whole bunch of old Mopars, even a 69, I think it was a Roadrunner, but there's like nothing left to it. And he just pulled it out of the scrapyard for it not to get crushed. And there's a couple of good parts on it, but it's not like nothing you want to write home to mom about, but he saved it anyway, just in case he's got buddies or whatever that have the car, or, maybe they need some trim or something like that, or a window or whatever,
Exactly. And that's the name of the game right there. That's how you do this on a budget. Like I said, some of them will actually end up paying you in the end if you work it right. You buy, sell, trade.
I don't know if you've seen another one of my videos, though, BareRose. I actually got a customer that wants me to do his car, his father's car.
I seen that one.
Yeah, that's a 1950 Chevrolet. It's done into a New York City police car, and it has a big mural on the back of Twin Towers.
Sweet.
So it's a dedication car to, all that have lost their life in 9/11.
Sweet. That beacon that's on top of that?
That's the old school police light. Yep.
I know. It's identical to the one that I sent to Irish Outlaw for his ambulance.
Oh, God.
UPS ran it over. You could
Oh
actually see the
no!
tire track, and they
Oh
killed
man,
it. I
that's
was
messed up.
so I and I insured that, and
Wow.
they still haven't done anything about it.
See, that's the thing is with these, package delivery services or whatever. Yeah, they'll take your money, but they won't be responsible when they screw up. I had the
And
same
it's
problem with the.
irreplaceable. That one that you showed in that picture, that's
Yeah,
the only other one I've seen like that.
really.
They're the big
Yeah.
beacon that goes on top,
Yep. Yep.
and
Yeah,
they
this
turn
guy
about this fast.
he owns a investment company, that deals with precious metals.
Oh, sweet.
So it's his father's car. His father passed away, and we used to go to Carlisle and Englishtown and all that other stuff when the guy's son was still fixing up cars. Now he doesn't do that anymore because he's got this company. He can buy them outright and not have to do anything. So, but with this one here, because it's his father's, he wants me to at least bring it back to better than presentable condition. So, and it's got a big old peeling paint thing on the passenger rear door. It's got to be cut off, and I got to do some body work on it. A little painting here and there, get rid of the bubbles and stuff like that, and then just some detail work like the chrome. He doesn't even want to do. Doesn't want to do the chrome. He just wants the chrome peeled off and sanded down and then primered over, so just so it looks decent. That's all.
A lot of that should be stainless too, so it'll polish right up.
That bumper is not stainless.
It's not on that one?
The back one he has on that car is all in primer. It's not chrome anymore. So,
okay.
And then the front one, the chrome is peeling up. It looks as bad as the back bumper did on my 57 on the passenger side. It was all peeling up too. So I got that all up in primer.
I don't know about out there in Jersey, but holy cow, we got one place left here that does re-chroming.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
I know. Yep.
Wow.
That's why a lot
he's
of people
top notch and he's good, and he does zinc replating.
Yeah, but that's
he
the
does
reason
all
why
kinds of replating.
that they're just doing regular primer and paint. They figure it's too expensive.
When I was at the resto shop, I seen a couple of bills from them. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got a bumper that I use for like a little garden I have over by my side deck. And the bumper is actually originally from the 52 Plymouth that I had.
Sweet.
Yep. And as you can see here, what's the spread on the lines game? You know what those are?
Oh yeah, side pin.
Yeah, but they're for a 2-door, not for a 4-door.
If you can bring yourself to do it, they look like they're in good shape.
No, I mean mine. The ones that are on my car are good. They don't have any holes in them or anything. These here, they got to be painted. The Bel Air and the little badge has got to be painted and then cleaned up a little bit with some steel wool, But that's about it.
Powder coated. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like powder coat. I tend to break things or change my mind on things, and boy, trying to work around powder coated stuff is fun. That
Yeah,
stuff is thick.
I had that happen with the 52 Plymouth. I actually took the inner window moldings off and hung them inside a carport, and I forgot that the flap on the end was closed. Yeah, that's him. Hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jason?
What's happening? You guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good, actually.
Yeah, my sound was messing with me. It took me a second to get in here. I was eating some soup. I've been out working on the truck.
Yeah, you got a hat on your head, so I'm assuming you got a cold or something.
Yeah, bad hair day.
Well, you want a bad hair day? There you go. Look at that. They like that mess there.
I've been out rolling around under that truck, putting the cow
Wait.
track bars on it. Man,
It's like, woo.
it is rusty. What's happening, Mohawk? How you all doing? Just another Saturday night, huh?
Another day in paradise.
Hey, Buck, what's happening?
Am I in?
You are here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, there I am. I was on the. I was
Look at
over
that.
there.
Look at
Now,
that
we're up
snazzy
there.
hat there.
We're up there.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mr. Buck?
Oh, just hanging out Saturday night, trying to listen to what Jason had to say.
Nothing important, that's for sure.
Nothing important.
Yeah, I was started doing those cow track bars on the truck, and you've got to change the front spring eye. You put a solid aluminum one in there, and man, it took me forever to get the old rubber one out, and then I started getting I had to file, get all the rust out of it, and then my phone was dying, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna take a break, and then I came in and made some soup and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm done for the night. I'll finish up tomorrow.
So you're putting a
That's-
full cow track under that?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got a really good deal on these, and they're brand new. And yep. So yeah, they all everything was rusty on. I had to heat stuff, but it's all loose. It's going back together now, so we'll finish
Cool.
at least one of them up tomorrow.
I'll be right back. I gotta get coffee.
I got the main hoop in for the roll bar. I got it cut and sitting where I want it. So I've been busy bee this week. Just haven't been
Busy
making
bee.
any videos. I just get out there and get in the zone and then just forget to turn the camera on,
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
How many times
I know.
I've done that?
Yeah, I do
Or you
that all
look
the
up
time.
at the camera and it's a picture.
Yeah. my GoPro, I would push the, where it would take a picture every, so many minutes or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then it would be just stuck on the first picture. Like, oh, here we go with the video. And then I'm all done. And I grab it and I'm like, oh, I got a picture of me turning around and turning the camera on. That's it. So, what's happening, White Trash?
Stay warm out there,
Hey, I'm
Sam.
doing pretty good, Jason.
Good. The Buck's been busy. I saw your video earlier putting that locker in that rear end. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I wanted to spend that much, but I thought, budget's already out of the water.
Right.
So what-
Yeah. We're not even worried about that anymore.
Luckily, I have a job I can work overtime, which I already worked the overtime. I already paid for all that stuff, so it really
That's
didn't
good.
affect me that much.
It's not eating that much, huh?
Yeah, I could have used that money on something else, but
We put one of those in my buddy's Firebird a long time ago. It had a 7.5 in it,
right.
and never broke. Never broke the locker. Never broke a ring pin. Boy, he would busted axles with that thing when he started making a little bit of torque and got it. Put slicks on it, and it liked to spit axles out for sure.
Well, I would have rather get an 8.5, but they're harder to find than the 8.2. But I actually helped a guy out at work. He was putting a 12 bolt in that 69 Camaro, and he took that 10 bolt out.
Nice.
And he already had they're all brand new disc brake setup on there.
Yeah, I saw the brackets on there. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and that's all brand new stuff and new cables and stainless steel lines and everything is in there. And then same way with the cover that went on it too was brand new. But
Yeah, that's one of those torque load covers. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. So I helped him out. I actually got the rear for the price he had into the parts. So
I had one of those covers on that Mustang I used to drag race. It had an 8.8 in it, and it made a difference. It didn't, it kept it straight.
yeah.
It wasn't, it didn't twist much. And actually, mine had a bar that ran across the back that you welded out to the end of the tubes, and it would keep the tubes straight. You could adjust it. It was, that thing had all kinds of trick stuff on it. But
Cool.
That was back when, there's Terry Grover too.
hey, Terry.
Back when you and Terry were doing stuff with those Foxes that, There was no book. There was no aftermarket. You guys was figuring it out.
Yeah, we had to make a lot of stuff. Yep. Yeah, we had to make a lot of stuff, and it made me mad one time. I made I made lower
Thanks,
arms that
man.
were adjustable, and then I put coilover shocks on it, and I made all my own stuff. And then next year, Moroso's got a kit. Like, man.
I thought about that, Terry. That thought did go through my mind. About like a fart in a car, though. I opened the window pretty quick when that one went through.
Yeah. Yeah, setting that motor back. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest reason I've had issues getting my headers to fit, because I shoved that motor as far back as I could in that truck, you know. But hey, it's everything's working out now.
Great seeing you, Steven.
I built I actually built an exhaust system for it too, which I'm not quite finished with yet, but now it doesn't scare the dogs when I fire it up, so.
That's another aspect of this build I'm doing, though, is, like I said, I am a rat rodder, so I don't give two craps about what goes into what.
Oh, yeah.
But the golden rule of rat rods is you got to play with junk. If the car's too good, don't kill it.
Right.
So you're going to see some stuff on here that, yeah, it's going to be radically changed, but it's all going to be bolt-on stuff. You can throw it right back to the way it was.
Where it was, yeah. Yeah, that's like this truck. It doesn't hurt my feelings to cut on it, because it was, you know, I saved it from.
Oh, that thing was toast.
Oh, yeah, it was gone. It was gone. Yeah, it doesn't break my heart any. Like when I got it.
You didn't need a speedometer. You just look down and count the lines going underneath your feet.
Yeah, it was so bad. But it's coming along. The floorboards did turn out good. I mean, even though I made them out of, you know, metal shelving or whatever, but it's getting there. So I hope to get it running. Well, it's already running. I want to get the, I think next weekend, if I have time, I want to get the, once I get the cow track bars in, then I want to get the transmission hooked up and make sure it's okay. Because I rebuilt it, so.
Is that 2-speed you were doing, or did you change over to something else?
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with the Power Glide. It's
Okay.
it's what I have, and that's like we were just saying. Like I'm going to use what I got. I'm not going to.
Yep.
Not going to alter from the plan. So. I mean, I took it all apart. You know, it's got all new clutches and, you know, all that stuff, steels and everything in it. So it should be fine. Converter's probably way too tight, but it'll be fine. I can change that later.
That's good.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, we're just going.
Well, I know what I wanted to talk to you about, Jason. I got that shifter off of Dr. Art.
Yes.
That Z-Gate B&M shifter.
Yeah. He sent me 2 of them, and then I kept one and sent the other one back because, yeah, they were needing. Somebody was needing it. Yeah.
Right, but there's parts missing for the T handle. To lock it in. Do you have a good one? You can send me pictures, maybe.
Yeah.
Of what's down in there.
Sure.
Maybe I can make something. It can't be that.
Yeah, there's just like little clevis pins and cotter keys and stuff in there. It's not real. Yeah, you could probably put some bolts in it, but yeah, I can take some pictures and send them to you.
Oh, cool. My email is on my my about page.
Yeah, I'll get them.
And thank you.
Yep.
I mean, no hurry. I mean, I'll probably, I don't even, because I got a 200 R4 for it also.
Okay.
That's probably going to be next winter's project or something.
Got you.
I thought in the meantime I could put that shifter, because that shifter probably won't work with a 4-speed.
Nope, I don't think so.
No.
Because it only has gates for a 3-speed. That's like the issue I have is hooking this one up to a 2-speed. But
Go ahead.
I think what I'm going to do is where the lever is. I've seen the aftermarket levers. They have like 3 different positions, so you can put different shifter, ratios on it.
Right.
So I think I'm going to straighten that plate. It's bent because it was in a barn when I got it, and it'd been sitting in a barn for like 30 years. But I'm going to straighten that out and just drill a couple of holes to try and get the ratio correct to be able to use it. So it should be fine.
Yeah, I think somebody just took these parts out of there so it wouldn't lock.
Yeah, it may have been. Yeah, right. I said I never really messed with them. You know, they were just sitting. He sent me 2 of them because I was looking for a shifter, and like I said, something came up. But yeah, I can send you a picture, no problem. When I'm out there tomorrow, I'll take some pictures. I gotta finish the video. I stopped doing the video because my phone was dying, so it's down here charging up, and I thought, oh, I'll take a break and get some dinner, and then I got dinner, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done for the night.
That's what happens to me.
Yeah.
Once I sit down, I'm done.
This is future Jason job for tomorrow. We're good. Yeah. What you got there, Rich?
Armrests for 57 Chevy. The only problem is I don't have the bolts that actually attach to the door panels.
Ah.
So I redid these, and they're redone up, ready to go in, but I don't think there was even one on the back door. I mean, the bolts are for the padding and everything is in. It's just, you know, even the back plate.
57. Those weren't clutch heads, were they?
I think they were just
bolts.
Phillips said screw, but they were a little long, you know.
What's happening, Bondo Billy?
Clutch heads. I had clutch head screwdriver gun bits for years, and I never used them. And today I took that Holly apart, and I need a clutch head. You think I can find them? I looked for 20 minutes. I couldn't find them. The hell are you? I'm using a screwdriver.
They find a needle in a haystack.
What's happening,
man.
Brian?
You know what? And
What's
tomorrow
happening,
I'll
Don?
trip over it.
Hey, Byron. Byron. Oh, God.
That one.
Sorry about that.
He's fine. As long as you don't call him late for dinner, he's fine. Brian's cool. Indirect connection. That's a new channel somebody started, isn't it? I think that's
Jason Falk, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Jason Falk?
Yeah.
That's his new one?
Mhm.
Jason's?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a new one.
It's a good name, too. I like that.
Yeah, it is cool.
Indirect connection.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's some stuff BareRose is going to be doing.
Well, back in the day, I worked for a Dodge dealership. I was a parts man, and that's when the direct connection stuff was going on.
I bet that was fun. I mean, that stuff was so cool, man. I wish they
Culture
would get
redneck.
back to doing that.
Yes, it's good to see him. He commented on a couple of my videos. I say, hey man, he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howdy, Culture
How's Devil?
Redneck. Yeah.
38 POS. I'm hitting the send button now. I wanted to send you an email earlier, but
We get it, Buck.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, you got that sign language.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all last week, that's what my audio sounded like. I had the hardest time hearing everybody. That whole live was seat of my pants.
Really?
Yeah. It was all cracky like that.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and being right there in your ears, yeah. That's why I switched to these, because they noise cancel stuff, but some days they don't want to work. Which about 5 minutes worth of cursing over here before I got on. I'm like, come on. It's because I plug these in, then I have a external speaker up here, and it's like if I switch it too quick, it's like what'd you do, you know?
Yeah, well, I was watching one of my
There we go.
previous lives, and like, man, my video is like fuzzy, but on here it's like brand new.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm like, what's the difference there?
What's happening, Brian?
What's up?
Man, the knuckle duster just looks good.
Man, it does, doesn't it? Especially with that bug catcher on there.
Oh, man, it's just perfect.
I'm fighting headers.
Oh, that's common.
Putting those 2 back bolts. I don't know if you guys have ever done small block Mopar, but the 2
Oh,
back
yeah.
bolts on the driver's side are giving me fits. So I figured I'd
How's the
take a
starter
break.
fit?
Actually, it looks like there's going to be all kinds of room for the starter with these headers.
Cool.
Oh, really?
Man, I know Dad had a Charger, and we'd have to drop the header down, and like hold the starter and then wiggle it all in and then get it started. It was a nightmare.
My brother's Dart Sport was like that. He had a 440 in it too, so
Oh yeah,
it was hell to change that starter.
that's a lot of motor in that little car.
Oh,
Yeah, Dad's had a 340, I think. Some small block, maybe a 318. I don't remember.
feeling better there, cultured redneck. We're pulling for you.
Yes.
I was going to big block this one, but
Yeah, man.
I'll never big block a body without fender well headers. You run the fender well headers, and then you got all kinds of room to do everything except change spark plugs.
Right?
There's
Yeah.
no room in there. There is no room on that side.
No,
Good Lord, that power steering box is huge.
Mm-hmm. And it's behind the cross member, isn't it? All that linkage kind of hangs down in the way. I remember I worked in a muffler shop when I was a kid. I remember the guys that come in the Chryslers wanting a dual exhaust on. I'm like, oh, that driver's side. You had to make a bend, cut it, weld it, make a bend, smash it with a torch.
Half tempted to pull the steering arms off and switch them around. Take the right side and put it on the left side and switch them.
Yeah.
And then put a rack in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And switching it all to rack and pinion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
I'd like to do that someday.
So you'd use it like a kind of like a drag link almost, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or center.
Yeah. That'd be pretty neat. That's a good
But I
idea.
don't know if it'll clear that the K where it splits and comes over to the control arm.
That's what the cutting torch and the welder is.
The hot wrench.
Yeah, hot wrench, baby.
This thing's so light, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I was going to show something today that might actually help with that. There's there's different K members. I didn't know there was different K members on these cars. But the later model ones, the K member for the cars with a sway bar, the sway bar actually ran through the K member, and there's cutouts for it.
Oh.
So I almost wonder if you could open that up maybe and put a steering rack in there.
Yeah. I've held a Mustang 2 rack up there, and you'd have to change the tire rods, but it looks like it'll fit. I think it's narrow enough it'll fit it there in that A-body. I'm going back and forth and sideways on what.
What's happening, Lars?
What year is yours, though?
65.
See, you got the early A-body, too.
Yeah.
They're actually, I think, inch or two narrower.
Narrower, yeah.
So you're really going to have fun stuffing a big motor in there.
You know what, though? There's a lot of guys, and I've seen a few sets of and I want to try them on mine, but I don't know if it'll work. If I ever get the money, I'll just get a set and try it. But the fender well headers for small block for the early A bodies, they did that a lot.
Where does it exit?
You have to cut the inner fender out.
You just cut it. You just cut holes in the inner fenders. I mean, if you want to keep it stock or stock appearing, then you wouldn't do that. But
guy I used to work with had a 60. The early Barracudas, it looked like the Valiants, like a 5 or 6, I think. And yeah, we put fender because he put a 440 in that thing. It's crazy. And yeah, we cut and hacked and got fender well headers on it.
Well, my buddy Dennis from Twisted Mopar Garage, I was just over there where he's working on a couple things. And they had a 340 in an early A body with TTI headers. And the torsion bars actually run through the headers. So you got to take the torsion bars out and put the headers on.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
It seemed a little excessive to me, but the plus, you're spending, what, $1,200? I mean, these headers are like $1,200 headers new. They're ceramic coated TTIs.
I thought about putting a Mustang rack on the S10 BareRose. Speaking of that, but mine's easy. I mean, I got plenty of room. I have the shortest lower radiator hose in the world, though. I think I had to find one that was 7 inches long and it was because the radiator was real big. It had to be like inch and 3/4 on one end and an inch and a half on the other, or something weird. I found it at the tractor supply place, and it barely. It's like you have to fight it to get it in there, but it works. I gotta fix one header bolt that was broken off when I drilled it. I went into the water jacket, so I gotta get in there and JB weld that baby up.
Well, on the small block Mopars, the front header bolts run into
Yep,
water.
right into the water jacket. Right. That's what my brother was freaking out about. He was like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't." I was like, "Robbie," I said, "Do you remember Dad's car when we'd take the headers off, water would come out of there? Like,
Yep.
that was just a bolt into a hole, like a big, you know. He just had to put some pipe dope on it, and, you know. So.
I remember the first time I did that. No, whoa, what?
Yeah, me too. It made.
Something's wrong.
I was working on a.
Watch here. Let me mute this.
But yeah, it was on
that
a motorhome.
catcher just makes that car.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
that
does.
looks good.
Yeah, I was doing them on the motorhome, and I pulled those bolts out, and it just peed antifreeze all over the people's carpet. You know, it's like, man, come on.
Oh, Class A at that? Where you're up inside? The
yeah,
motors
like-
all, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we had to take the manifolds off because they were warped. And, yeah. Lesson learned that day.
I'm still here. I just wife brought me some food I don't want to eat on camera. So
Okay.
No problem.
Keep your hands and feet away from his mouth, everybody.
Keep your elbows off the table.
What do you mean table? All my tables are covered in car parts right now.
Right? He's got it sitting on the bug catcher, don't you, Brian?
Oh, it would work.
Jesus.
Those bead rolls on the top of it, they hold the mustard and the ketchup. It's perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Condiment tray. Get your coffee pot out there, you'd be set.
Yeah, we got one.
Yeah, I always use my fenders as a picnic table.
Right. Right. It's not any good if the bread ain't got some grease on it, right?
Oh my God! How many times did you order a sub and then forget to wash your hands and look down and
yeah.
the rolls all black?
Yeah. I was like, oh well. Yeah. Right.
Just so I don't get no dirt, I'm fine.
Worst thing I ever did, man. We went to Hardee's or something like that, and they had this like $1 million burger. It was like $8 back in the day. It was like a half-pound burger. I get back to the shop and I am starving, and I pull the burger out, and the meat flops off and hits the floor. I'm just like, so I picked it back up and I wiped it off and I ate it, and I felt like crap the rest of the day. My brother was like, "You're retarded." I was like, "Hey, I paid a lot of money for that sandwich."
$8 burger? I'm eating the wrapper.
That's right. I'm eating the paper, yeah, everything.
Well, hell, I got the barbecue grill here, but it's covered in car parts too. I got to clean it off if I want to cook anything.
The one we have at the shop, that poor thing, it catches everything. I'm like, when I fry this thing up in the summertime, it's going to smoke.
Shop Cat has eaten 5 samosas already.
There you go, yeah. One left. Bondo Billy said, "I love Bondo." Yeah, my dad's the Bondo guy in our family.
No thanks.
And
I'll do
bodybuilder
it.
gets such a bad rap, but it does have its place.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, not my favorite thing either.
It doesn't have a place on a fender that's superficial, dented.
That's why I just weld metal in mine and leave the rest in the holes. I was like, "Yep, there we go." That's.
No, you didn't see the video, man? How much Bondo I took off that 69?
Oh yeah, yeah. You were chipping it out of there. Yeah.
I went out there today, man. I'm tapping on it. You can hear it's just nothing but metal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be different
Yeah,
if I had a
old,
hole.
Down the weight out of the car.
What was that? The old Earl Schreiber or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The old, yeah.
Ain't any car for $89.95.
Right. And then
I'm shy.
they'd have like pieces of cardboard 3 feet wide, spreading mud on them and letting it go. You know.
Make sure you don't get none on that stainless trim of that window there, buddy.
Well, that's what the guys at work told me to do. Mix up a whole gallon of Bondo and just pour it down the side of the car for a good video. I said if it wasn't so expensive, I'd do that.
Yeah.
You know what? On my live, I think it was last week or week before, my buddy William had dug up an old, like, I think it was a Haynes manual or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you go to the back of that book, and it shows you how to fix rust with Bondo and fiberglass and chicken.
Really?
Like, that's why they're all like that.
Wow.
Oh, okay, here's how you fix it.
That
Slap
all
and
the
smear.
early car lot work. Boy. If you
Greg
work
said
for
he
a
can
used
barrel.
car lot, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll let it rip, won't they? They'll roller paint it and everything. Be ready to go.
And Greg can remember Earl Scheib for $39.95. I don't remember back that far, but
Whoa.
The hell was that, back in the 20s?
Of course, you get back that far, $39.95 was like $3,995.
Yeah, it was a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's like 39 cents today.
Yeah, we still have some Makos around here, but they actually do a pretty good job. If we buy one to flip, we'll do the body work and then just let them shoot it and
Shoot it.
it's not too bad. I mean, we want one that's super nice, and of course we'll take it to a good shop. But yeah, they don't do too bad. My cars, I don't paint my cars.
Oh, I got the ultimate body filler, and it brings every dent right out. It's called Satin Black.
That's it. That's right.
Everything.
Hot rod black, baby.
Yeah, I just got a 6-pack of that stuff.
Buck's ready to go.
Yeah. I got a 6-pack.
Scratch or nick the paint, you just grab you a Sharpie and just
Yeah, touch it up. There you go. Yeah.
Scratch, take a Sharpie. There you go.
Believe me, I'll be bringing a pack of Sharpies to the No Name National.
Especially if it's a black car. They won't know the difference.
Mine is 4 different colors right now.
Well, that's what color my Oldsmobile is. 4 different colors.
Yeah.
It's orange, white, turquoise, and blue.
Mine's red and brown. Brown's for the rust.
Oh, I thought you were going to call it the turd burglar.
It is a turd burglar.
You know that door I put on the right side is the original color of that car.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that light blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was that tailpiece I watched you put in. That was pretty close to the same color, too. Like they're on the...
No, that was different. That was actually one of them roller jobs.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should see the paint on that thing.
Classic.
Yeah. There's a lot of texture. I'll just let it there.
Right. A little orange peely. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you said, roller job. Texture
was.
paint, man.
Well, I got a whole complete quarter that was cut out of a car, right?
Mhm.
Inner wheel wells and everything came with it.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, the drop downs, all that stuff. So that's where I got all my parts from for that one side.
Boy,
And
you
I
lucked
actually got
out on
some
that
for the
whole
other side.
deal.
What's that?
You sure lucked out on that whole deal. I mean,
Yeah,
that
I still have parts I can put on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you'll see next week's video when I put that rear in. There's some more parts I got to put on.
Nice.
I'll just let it be at that.
Let it marinate.
Let it marinate. Yeah.
Buck, what are you having done at the machine shop on the 455?
It's getting bored and pissed. Just bored, and then I'm gonna put everything together.
New
I like
pistons, rings?
What's that?
Putting new pistons and rings in?
I'll be doing that, but he's just getting the pistons and boring it and then polishing the crankshaft.
Oh, okay.
So then when he comes back, I'm doing the heads right now. I'm cleaning up the ports and the bowls and stuff, and
What's
I
happening,
actually
Disney?
have them soaking in a degreaser right now. Because then next thing I got to do is lap the valves in. So that's next. That's a lot of work, man.
Boy,
Yeah.
that's something I believe in, true and full-heartedly.
What's that?
Painting the underneath of your car white.
Oh,
Mhm.
white. Yeah.
Yep. You can hit the flashlight on your phone, turn it down, and slip it under the car, and it lights everything up.
Lights everything.
Yeah, reflects it and makes it easy to see leaks and.
Unless you're like me, then it would all be brown with oil.
Yeah, that's how I know where to.
Ain't brown.
That's how I know where to park my truck. It's a brown rectangle with a black spot in the middle.
Well, it'll be brown for a while, then it'll all turn black anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna pop on out of here. Let somebody else in, guys.
Take
All
it
right,
easy,
Rich.
Rich. Take care,
Yeah, you
man.
Good seeing you tonight, man.
Yeah,
Same
good seeing
to
you,
you guys.
brother.
Appreciate
Looking
the
forward to that the whole 9/11 tribute you're doing. That
Yeah,
I'm really
it's
looking
gonna
forward
be,
to that,
it's
man.
gonna be until it gets warmer out. You know, I mean, because he's talking about me painting and everything else, and I told him, I said, you want it to be at least 60 degrees out.
Oh, at least 65 even.
Anything lower than that, forget it. You're gonna have a mess. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna
Take
be
it
popping around
We'll
on
see
your
ya.
channel and probably checking some of your videos out.
All
No
right.
problem.
All right, man.
Watch
Later.
with
See you, brother,
caution.
man.
I can figure out how.
How far of a drive do you got to Sykeston?
What's that?
How far of a drive do you got to Sykeston?
1,604 miles to the
Ooh.
track.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm 870 or 882 or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm like 615-ish, something like that. Yeah.
Oh man.
This year, the wife is going to fly out. I'm going to drive out, but she's going to fly out, and I'm going to meet her there.
Mhm.
She says, that road trip was fun once.
Yeah. Let's not get overzealous and do this again. Yeah.
I'm 2.5 hours away. I could drive home at night and sleep in my own bed if I wanted to.
Oh, man.
That's nice.
Yes,
I
that's
won't.
what I was doing. 38, cleaning up underneath in the bowls and stuff, just getting all the rust and carbon and stuff out of there. Man, I got a lot of metal.
So are the spring perches and everything the same on that rear end you're putting in, Buck? From the Camaro to the...
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
bolted right in. It's
Okay.
already in.
Oh, it's in? Okay, cool.
I've been driving it, but
Nice.
I didn't get that video out yet, so don't
Yeah.
tell anybody.
Right. I just remember when Dad has a 67 Camaro, and we bought a 8.5, like a swap meet or something, and it was
Yeah.
a later model. We had to bring the perches in a couple inches to make it fit properly.
Well, that's what I was trying to get away from. I didn't want to go through all that. I mean, I
Hell,
could have. I could have put an 8.2 Ford or 8.8 Ford in there too,
Mhm.
but
Right.
I helped the guy out at work too. He wanted to get out from under it, so
That's good.
what the hell? It bolted in.
Yeah, that's cool though.
I mean, it's an 8.2. They say they aren't that strong, but I haven't heard
that-
much about them.
8.2 are just, they're fine.
Right. I'm not going to be launching
It's
it.
all
pulling
in how
wheelies
you
or
drive
anything.
it.
Mhm.
Huh? Exactly.
I said I'm going to run this 7.5 until it breaks. So
Yep. I actually have a 350 air cleaner with Buick
mhm.
emblem on it. 350 4-barrel air cleaner. I'm going to put on there.
Nice.
See how many people notice that it's not a 350, it's a 455.
Buick
Okay.
engines are hard to tell if they're a small or a big engine because they're real similar looking.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second.
Same
Cadillac.
way with Oldsmobiles. I
Yeah.
got sitting right here. I've got a 455 and a 350, and they look identical.
Look the same. Yeah.
Yeah. You look at the valve covers, they're small.
These motors look weird to me. They just look, I don't know. They look like if you put a set of those fabricated valve covers on them, they'd look a lot better. You know, because those fab valve covers make every motor look bigger.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
get
Chuck.
what you're saying. Those are, yeah, they're an odd engine. I've got
I went-
access to a 350 Oldsmobile. I haven't touched it because it's a 2-barrel, for one, and number two, it's an Oldsmobile. So it's 2 house payments for an intake for it.
Yeah. And
They're
the only
heavy.
reason I went 455 is because I always wanted one. And then I got a Buick, so that's why I went Buick. So
Yeah.
But that's the only reason. Because it's going to cost a lot to get done. But yeah, so is everything else.
Working
More
the steel
overtime.
mill, huh? Good job.
Yeah. I got out of it. I was in the steel mill. I got out of it. I lasted about a year and a half.
I don't think I can handle that. We got one just right up the road here. And my wife was like, "A steel mill's hired." I'm like, "You trying to kill me? I'm
I'm
old."
gonna dip out for a minute.
All right, Jason.
I'll be back.
We'll catch
Yeah,
you
that's,
later,
that's a
Jason.
dangerous
That
job.
kind of work.
It's a dangerous job, and then it's hot too. And in the wintertime, it's freezing cold.
I mean, they pay good, but
Or it's hot on one side and burning on the other, and you're
Yeah.
constantly going in between both of them.
Yeah.
We have a
That's why I just
small
like the
foundry
machine.
here.
So I went from the steel mill to Hershey Foods. So yeah, and you know, inside the plant it's 52 to 62 degrees at all times, and it's environmentally controlled too, so it's clean air and all that stuff.
That's the way our machine shop is. It's nice. I've worked in some hot machine shops where it's hot as hell in the summertime and cold in the winter.
Yeah, I actually get cold at work. I have to go back into molding where it's hot and warm up. There's Punish Lamont.
There's a lot of these people that I don't know. I haven't watched their channels that much. I really need to get caught up on people, and
Get in the
I think
groove.
this year to meet all the new people that are coming in.
There's quite a few
No.
piling in.
Yeah, I have all the under. Well, you can go to John Wilbert's channel too and see all the people under 500. But I have them all posted on my live description.
Do you only do the ones that are registered that are on his 500 list?
Right. That's yep.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, there's some other people that come in and that aren't registered. I mean, we'll still put their link up and stuff, but I don't go into their channels and look at videos and see how many videos they have and they're about and all that stuff.
Well, I was talking to my friend Dennis. Like I said, he's trying to put a channel together. He's just learning. I just taught him today how to turn the phone this way when you do a video.
That is such a big thing.
Oh man. But as soon as he gets a little bit, I mean, I told him, I was like, register. I go, as soon as you get the extra 85 or whatever, how much was it this year?
8250.
8250, yeah.
8250. Just send in the registration money. He's paid more than that to run at big events with his car.
Exactly.
And just doing that will probably get you almost 200 subs just because.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys that come in right away, they'll get 20, 30 subs in a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell them I don't get complacent with that because that's because everybody in here wants to help you, so they're going to sub you. But you got to keep putting the work out and keep putting the content out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. There's about 500 of us, in the community that just helps people out. There's not 500 people.
Right. So you're not going to get 500 subs just from hanging out with us. But if you come in here and ask questions and just hang out. You'll learn stuff. You know?
Yeah, you'll pick up like a few from BareRose's. You'll pick up a couple from mine. You'll pick up a few from yours. You know,
Right.
and then whatever the algorithm decides to do that day with everybody's video, you pick up a couple extra there.
Right, and another thing that happened with me is I got ideas on what kind of videos to make. You know, like, hey, I can make a video like that one, you know, or that subject. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I needed a short for that one day, and I remember Barrow's his oven cleaner one went off like crazy, and I thought, hey, I got oven cleaner. I'll go get some and make an oven cleaner video. And when you know it, that one went viral.
I'll say I can't wait to get her truck back because it needs power washing in. Oh my God, people love watching power washing videos. I don't
Yes.
Yes,
know.
they do. That one
Yeah.
blows me away.
You know that there's a video game out there called Power Washing Simulator, and you just sit there and clean.
I've seen that.
It's like,
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh man.
my biggest one is the guy who has 1 million subscribers and all he does is scratch off lottery tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all he does. He scratches off lottery tickets.
Wow.
They go
There's
through.
a niche for everything.
Yeah, they go through these little. They're like, okay, you know, it was rumored that if you do this and this and this, that you'll get a winner. And he tries it out. You know, he'll spend like $1,000 on lottery tickets, but I guarantee he'll get over almost 1 million views on a video, so he's making his money back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yeah, they say 1 million views, you could probably get 70 grand out of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never had anything even close to that.
No, I'm
Nope.
I'm climbing no barrels. I'm climbing. I'm up to 2850.
Woo, doggy.
Yeah, I'm 1150 away.
Videos 1,200. But you know, I do this for fun.
Yeah.
You can't hardly make a living out of it.
No, and I don't
Yeah,
expect to
it's
make a
gonna
living
change.
out of it, but it's like a goal now.
Yeah.
And if you do, holy cow, it is a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
You'll put in massive hours.
Right.
I would rather just keep a small channel, and you know, it's cool that I got that. I don't even have 1,000 subs yet. I'm up to like 760, 761. But you know, it's like 761 people want to watch me work on my junk. Okay,
Exactly.
you know, I'm happy with that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 2851 now, barrels.
Whoa, there's a fast way to 0 subs.
Belly button went.
Yeah, but I've been asked that too. You know, people when you hand them your sticker, you know, or your business card or whatever, and say, "Hey, check out your channel." They'll always
Mhm.
ask you about that, and you know what it takes, what it's like, and all of that. And then they always say, "Hey, I thought about that too, but you know, I got this small block Chevy that everybody's done 1,000,000 times." I said,
Yeah.
"Do it. Nobody's seen you do it."
Yep. And even if you go, who said that? Johnny Mopar said that to me when I was sanding on this car, or when the wife was sanding on this car. She's my sander. But it's not about even people wanting to watch to learn or anything, because I'm like, I don't know how to do body work. I'm just fumbling through it. It's they want to watch the journey.
Yeah. Or they want to watch you make the mistake so they don't make it.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just at the point now where it's just all little stuff, and it's stuff like fighting these header bolts. I don't want to put out a 20-minute video of me fighting header bolts. I'd just rather fight them. Okay, and then I'll make a little part of a video. Okay, look, we got the headers on. We're never talking about that again.
Unless you do the RTV trick.
What's the
Put a
RTV?
little dab of RTV on your finger and stick it to the bolt, and then let it set for just a second for it to set up, and then you can reach your finger around and start it into the hole and get it started onto a thread. As it breaks loose, you can get a hold of it and twist it in.
Wow.
Not these. They're up under tubes, and oh my god,
Just drill a hole straight through to the bulb.
Yeah. Hey, cousin Mike, I'm at 2851. I'm sure you blew me out of the water.
I'm like, if I just cut this one header tube off, put it on, and then weld it back together, that might be easier.
Oh, but as much as you fight it, it's nothing compared to working on a modern car.
Oh no,
Ron is
no.
on, Ron.
I'll pay somebody to work on my newer stuff.
Yep.
Well, her van, I think the 2014 Grand Caravan, Town and Country, same thing. Anything
Wow,
nowadays, you can't work on it yourself. Maybe brakes, oil change, simple shit, but all that electronics.
I'm getting good at putting alternators in her car, though. I shouldn't.
Oof.
I put 3 in 2 years.
That should tell you something.
Keeps eating them up.
Because 2 of them they pulled off the shelf at the parts store were bad because I made them test them before we took them home.
I can believe that too. I'm lucky. We got an alternator starter guy down here. He's been doing it for the last 40 years. You can take yours down there and he'll rebuild it for you.
That's actually what I'm thinking about doing. If this one goes bad, I'm going to order one from Rock Auto that doesn't require a core. I'll put that one on, and then I got a guy that rebuilds them out here for $60. I'm going to take it to him to rebuild it, just put it on the shelf and wait for the other one to go bad.
Back when we were running the monster truck, we did that because ours it was a GM 1-wire, so we had to drill it out, to make it fit on a big block Ford. We had one underneath the bus at all time in the hauler, but rattling around under that bus all that time, it actually ruined it. Found that out the hard way.
Styling, Buck, you're styling.
Yeah, I'm styling and profiling.
We had a runaway alternator. That's when it's scary. When it goes, pegs it and just overcharges.
Yeah.
That'll blow
on the
battery.
truck,
Won't it?
we had all the lights on. Dad was rear steering like crazy because that was all electric, hydraulic. So everything you could possibly do electric, he was out there doing it. Had the stereo in it going. We never turned the stereo on, but it was cranked and the amp was going.
Earplugs.
I'd like to get into
here's
that
Tim
four-wheel
Mopar.
drive stuff, but
Well, get well there, Tim.
that 4-wheel drive stuff's more expensive than these hot rods. And if you go
can
out and
be.
have a good time, you're going to break something. If you ain't breaking nothing, you ain't having a good time.
You ain't having good enough time. Yep.
That's right.
Back when we were doing sand rails, the funnest time to go out was right before the snow, because then you're going to take it back and rebuild it anyway. So everybody would get hog wild crazy.
I was going to do that. It'll probably be next winter when I do that because I don't have this thing going yet. But I was going to wait the first snow when this thing's running. I'm going to take it out with the slicks on it and everything and go up to like a Walmart parking lot or a church parking lot and just do donuts. Like all you people that are afraid to drive your classic cars in the snow, check this out.
That's what parking lots are for. When we grew up, we loved the snow. We'd find there wouldn't be a parking lot without donut marks.
Yeah.
We used to drag people behind our cars on tubes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd go to jail for that nowadays.
Yeah, we had.
Oh Lord, yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a guy with a Corvair, and his brother used to have a rope tied to the back, and they'd be skiing up and down the road.
Yeah.
Because back then they didn't salt or ash the roads until the next day, so they're out there at 9 o'clock at night riding around in the snow, skiing.
We used to do that all the time. They would hook us all onto a Suburban, 4-wheel drive Suburban.
Uh-huh.
And we weren't going really fast, but
Right.
people would tie their sleds on it and Hooky Bob or whatever.
Hood.
The hood, yeah.
Remember, well, we used to, growing up, we lived in a trailer court, and there was a family that had like 9 snowmobiles, So every time it was, wintertime, they'd bring the couple sleds up, and we'd, hang on behind the snowmobile. Don't be the first guy. You get about 7 sleds out there doing whippets and stuff, tubes. Good old days. Come on.
Good
Hey,
old
BareRose,
days.
you mind if I plug my live tonight?
No, go right ahead.
I got kind of a special live tonight.
Ooh.
Shane Polito, Professor P, is going to be on.
Oh, right on.
Oh, sweet.
And we're basically just gonna, because I just found out he's about the same age as me. So
Really?
we're gonna talk about
Me
shit we
too.
did when we were younger. If you want to jump on, I'll figure out a way to get you a link.
Yeah.
You can jump on. We're just gonna talk about the stupid shit we did as kids,
If not, I'll be in the chat. One of the two. But yeah, what time does your live start?
Probably here in about 20 minutes, probably around 8:30. I know you
And
end around 9, don't you?
Whenever I see yours pop up, then I try to redirect everything over to you.
Oh, okay. Just, if you're in the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of something or having a good conversation, you can always wait. I don't.
No, that's cool. That's something I found out about these lives too. And Dust Devil, you're actually really helping me by doing that. If you cut your live off while you still got a good number of audience and you redirect them to your next channel, like
Yeah.
Buck does for me and then I do for you, the algorithm sees that as you got a direct audience all the way until you end. So it actually helps.
Oh, okay.
If you let your live peter down to where there's only 2 or 3 people,
All right.
it doesn't tend to push it on the rewatches.
Yeah. Oh, I just usually go till I'm about ready to fall asleep. So I think more people should do that though. They should find somebody, like John Wilburn does Fridays.
Yeah.
I'm sure if somebody wanted to do a live on Friday after John Wilburn, he's usually done around 9 my time. He would, drop his people over there, and then it would just,
And it's a way we can all help each other.
yeah.
And it works.
And then Sunday, I don't know anything about Sundays. I don't think I've ever done a live on Sunday.
Yeah, me and BareRose been doing it for a while.
We were the first testers. You have to have 1,000 in order to do it. But you can
have
redirect
to have in order to do it.
Yeah, but you can get redirected to, like, I can redirect to you, but I don't know if you'll be able to do it for somebody else until you hit 1,000.
There's a reason. See, like I said, I really don't care about sub count or anything like that. But for what perks you get, I'll try to hit 1,000 for that. I guess
we'll
I'll
get you there
or something.
And at like 500,
I'm not worried about
you
being
can share them.
Well, you still got to get
tell
the
everybody.
Because that's what happened.
Those are just good goals.
Me and Ruben basically from Muscle City Madness, me and him basically started this format, where you just have people in and just, people constantly coming in and out. We did that about, that was almost 3 years ago. We were doing that.
Oh, cool.
And I do so many lives that and the watch hours you get from them. I've got my 4,000 watch hours.
Okay.
You just need your subs and you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can start making that big fat YouTube money.
I can run to Ace Hardware and buy a lock washer.
A lock washer. Lock
washer.
5/16 now, not a 3/4.
I think I only had like 749 watch hours when I hit 1,000.
No, but that monetization goal, that they put there, just use that as like just a goal for you. It's good to have in your mind, not for the money or anything like that. put it in your mind that it'll give you something to push for, if that makes sense.
That's what the 4,000 is for me. Something that's a goal.
Well, you do. How long are your lives?
Mine, I usually do 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
Some-
the only problem is they drop off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did one the other week. It was like 5.5 hours or 5 hours and 50 minutes. And I think I still had like 25 or 27 people in there.
I was with
Yeah,
that
one
one.
I
you
did
go
really
back
good
and
on.
look at it. You go back and look at it. You get 100 watch hours out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had 122 or something out of that one.
Yeah.
That's more than I got
But the
altogether.
problem is, like the one you did a year ago, like it hits me like not 2022, but 2021 on
Right.
New Year's, 2021 to 2022, that New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, who did I have on there? I had what is his name? The guy that rebuilds all the Chargers, Chris Birdsong.
Yeah.
I had him on there for my New Year's Eve, and oh my God, I got so many watch hours out of that. But then it dropped off. When that one dropped off after a year, then my watch hours took a dip. My 4,000.
Makes you wonder how they keep track of all that shit.
Well, it's a 365 deal. So
365.
like whatever hours I have from today, next year at this time they'll drop those ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
So
just
you
kind
gotta,
of a
you got to keep at it.
constant
So trying to
roll.
hit your 4,000, you got to at least get a point where you're doing just as good as you were the year before and a little bit better.
Right. You need to get to 5,000 or 6,000 so you have a cushion.
Yeah.
Like a rolling 4,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the problem. They're not counting shorts toward watch hours.
No.
They kind of do, but just to cut to the chase, they don't. If you watch them from somebody's page and you just, when you click on their short,
Yeah.
and you'll notice when you scroll through, you're only seeing their stuff. They're
Uh-huh.
getting all the watch hours for that.
Oh, really?
But if you watch it from the short feed that everybody watches it from, you don't get any of that.
Well, you wouldn't really get many from it, but like if you had a
Oh,
bunch
God,
of shorts up and somebody was just binge watching your shorts, you could end up getting, I've been stuck in that whole thing with shorts and looked up and it was an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, my viral one, I had a short go viral. I think last month I made 48 cents off of it.
What constitutes viral?
Over 200,000 views.
I'm lucky to make it into the 10,000 on views.
Oh, most of mine are too. I mean, that was a shot in the dark, stupid, wild,
Me
That's
too.
what I've been doing, keeping this out.
dumbest thing I ever did.
Mine didn't start climbing until a week later.
Mine took
Colleen,
over a
it's
month.
8:18 here. So I'm going to be going on probably about 15 minutes or so. It's set for 8:30, but I always wait a minute or two. In fact, I probably need to jump off here and start getting people into mine. But yeah, we'll figure out a way to get you a link. All right.
Yeah,
We'll talk
like I
to you guys
said, if
later.
not, I'll be in the chat.
Okay.
And you're cutting in about 10 more minutes. I'll keep an eye on that for you.
Yeah, right around there, 10, 15 minutes from now. Okay. See you later.
Great seeing you,
Hello,
Brian.
Love that bug catcher he's got behind him.
Oh, Lord, that thing looks good. Some cars it doesn't look good on. Some, it looks out of place.
Yeah.
The way that grill sits in there with the headlights, and then you got the bug catcher butterflies up there, it just works.
Well, I'm going to leave too there, BareRose.
All right, great seeing you,
It was
Buck.
great seeing you. Great talking to you.
Nice seeing you again, Buck.
You too there, Don. See everybody in the chat.
Hey,
Good to see you got a
there?
good fitting hat there, too.
Let's go
What's
say
that?
that last video. That last video I put out, Buck, I was looking out for squirrels for you.
Squirrels.
Well, I just know I put out a video the other day, and it ended up me hunting the last couple weeks of deer season. You know, I don't have no content. That's what I was doing for 2 weeks. I was deer season, so I videoed, seen turkey, porcupine, and a squirrel. I gave you an honorable mention in the video.
Yes.
Great
Thank
seeing you, High Ace.
All right.
All right. I'm out of here. Good night, people. See y'all next week. Same buck time, same buck channel. And then I'll be over here.
Or we can look around and see all the metal that hasn't gotten hot yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to get another, not a real cold snap, but colder than it's been snap.
Yeah, we're diving in right now. Whew. And it's been snowing, so it's going to get brutal here.
We've got lucky on snow. We had the big one there back before Christmas, but we had another one about 8 inches, but that was gone in a couple days. Just enough for them to plow me in out back, you know. Then we got that cold snap, and it froze into, you know, ice boulders out there, so I couldn't get in the backyard. I like to keep my yard clean, but they screwed me up. They could have plowed it to the other side of the alley, but they plowed it to my side.
That's my problem. As soon as I get my driveway opened up, the county comes through, and boom, I got to go out and start all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's always heavier than what you already moved.
Yeah, that's us wet.
Yeah, our shit's been wet lately too.
Most of what we get, though, is real powdery, light stuff. So all it takes is a breeze and everything drifts in.
Well, you got that too. But makes for easy snow blowing.
But like you said, you know, all content is content. So if you're not working on the car, a lot of people like to see what you're doing otherwise.
Yeah. We'll stay in there for deer season. It was still nice weather because our late season is day after Christmas and then till middle of January. It was just last Monday, 16th. So it's almost 3 weeks. So we sighted in the crossbows out here. So I'm going to film this. And then we had fun with it. It's out there shooting full beer cans, you know.
That was a good shot.
Actually, that one with the 2 shots, me and Ron shot. It was 1, 2, 3, and I don't know. His bow's a little faster than mine, so I don't know if we pulled triggers at the same time and his got there first, you know, or I was, you know what I mean. But
the way you slowed it down though, and you see the beer can roll up and the bunny shrink down, just perfect.
Yep, and I didn't get a drop on that camera either. We did that the next day. We did that in one take. It just happened. It's like we just threw the bag down here, each cocked them, and
I found that with most of my videos, if I just go out and I hit it the first time, that's the best. If I go back, you know, if I screw it up and I got to go back and redo it, I overthink it.
Yeah, I get into that too.
But I have too many button syndrome. You know, if I got too many options, I'll which button do you push?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little better at this editing. So I just started this channel basically to keep people updated on this Valiant, because 50 years from now, the YouTube's still going to be here or in the archives. You know, because hopefully this car gets passed down. I don't know who would want it, Nate maybe, but my son Josh always thought I was a fool for getting them. Dad, they're ugly. It's like, yeah.
Early Chrysler is kind of a face you gotta love them. But how many times can you look at, you know, hate to say it, but a 57 Chevy, you know, they're everywhere.
I've never seen another 62 Valiant in the wild. I've
32 Ford. Good Lord, you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
62 Valiant. Yeah, that's a little different.
And I got 2 of them.
My favorite was always the slant eyes, though.
The 62 Dart.
Was that the Dart have the slants too?
Yeah, I've seen a couple 62 Darts. I haven't seen any Valiants. Actually, my cousin's got one.
59 Lincoln was that way too. When I was a kid, I hated them. I thought that was the stupidest looking car ever. But now, yeah, I like them. I like them a lot.
Yeah,
Especially that car model, that 50-something Ford pickup that they stuck them slant-eyed headlights in it. That just didn't look right. Yeah, DeSoto's.
See, my uncle could talk to you all day on old cars. He's on the Model Ts and 50 Dodges and Corvettes and this and that. He's had 100 of them. I'm saying that's where I got these Valiants. I bought the first one off of him. Then he thought they might want to stay together, or I hadn't even thought about buying the second one. And we went out to visit one summer because I turned it into a yearly thing, like an anniversary thing. And me and Ronnie went out, and he's like, "Here, you might want to take this home with you. Next year it might not be here." It's like, okay, $2,000 for 62 Valiant, push button, slant six. Drove it home. Overheated a half a dozen times because the radiator's too small. But you just pull over, let it cool off. I kept a lawn chair in the trunk. Yeah, here's one of my uncles.
Hey, there's Ollie. Dang good to see you, man.
That's a 50 Coronet.
Let me give you center stage here.
All right, it's a 50 Coronet, and that's a tent up top. It's built on a platform. There's a homemade ladder there on the left. So that's back before they had these camping, along the interstate shit. You know what I mean? Back in the 50s, where'd you sleep? There wasn't a motel.
Dang.
But that's his kind of thing. That's what he does. It's what you're.
Hey, JV, good to see you, man.
There's one more. That's when we drove it home. That's me sitting at a rest stop in my lawn chair,
waiting for it to cool down.
Yeah, in the shade. People walk by, talk about the car. Passes the time a little faster. But it was a warm day that day because we got home. How long did it take? It took like 6 hours. No, almost 8 hours. Because it was dark by the time we got home. The dash lights work. But after the sun went down, it ran fine. It made it the rest of the way home without. I didn't want to use up, keep filling it up with all antifreeze because it's not made for the interstate. It don't like the speedometer doesn't work in it, so that sucks.
Got to do the phone on the dash.
I didn't even do that. I just drove it until it started blowing water, and then I let off just a little bit. The temperature gauge works, so when it went just above center, the farther it went over center, the faster it would go. So as long as you kept it close to center, because once it blows so much water, you're overheating regardless. There's just no water volume in that system. But I had the overflow hose sticking out in the corner of the hood, so when it started blowing water, I could see it. But we got it home.
It's just still got the original radiator in it, probably for a slant.
Yeah, there's slant six. That's factory slant six push button automatic.
Oh, that one's all factory. That's not
That
your.
one's factory. No, the
Okay.
440 we trailered home. That was. I got them 4 years apart. So I've had the 440 Valiant for.
Sweet, JB. Look forward to that one.
All right, JB. I can see the smiles through the comment.
The friendliest, nicest YouTube commenter right there, Tim Windsor.
Yeah, I want to talk no name, but I'm tired of talking no name. We got it into this no name 500 now. It's like, oh, cool.
Yep, you're registered and it's gone.
Ronnie did that. I was going to put it off till I got my taxes done and such. Ronnie's like, better get in there now, man. He more or less pushed me into the ring, which is, it's cool. I get up with my morning coffee. I look to see who's where in the no name, or in the no name 500.
And you get into the racing side of that friendly.
It's its own
YouTube
little race.
racing. Yeah,
we all want to get there. It's just a matter I can get there first. If it wasn't for shorts, though, I don't know how my videos wouldn't get me 500 subs.
You got to mix them up, though. You got to keep your long form with it.
I know. That's why I put that one together of hunting. That was 2 weeks worth I put together. Because we moved a tree stand and there was a deadfall that had a big grapevine.
I think what's going to happen with that dart is either going to make me or break me. I'll tell you this much. It's something that I have never seen done. Probably a reason for it, but.
What's the floors like in that?
Beautiful.
Oh, good for you.
Right at the passenger, right at where it rolls up, it's rusted there. I got to fix that little spot right there.
About where it's where people's heels are on their shoes. So
yeah,
everything drains down right there in the corner of
the wing window. I noticed was cracked open just a little. I think it let water down there and
just
rotted it.
Followed the wing window inside.
Yeah.
I know. I cleaned up a lot of undercoating and this and that and everything, and I noticed mine's not as waterproof as it was. So I got
the inside. When I pressure washed the inside of it, though, all of the undercoating just blew right out of there.
Vibrated off. And I got all mine except the tunnel and then the under the seats. But I got it all. What is that? Rust encapsulator. I got that on before it got cold. I want to paint it white yet, though. That encapsulator's black and you can't see nothing under there. It might as well be a sheet of black paper.
Is it like pour 15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $55 a quart.
Yeah. And boy, that stuff goes on thick. And yeah, once it's on, it's on.
I was impressed at how far it went, though, because it kind of thickens up as you put it on. It looks pretty runny until but it goes a long way.
It does kind of self-level. So you throw it on with a brush, it levels itself right out.
Well, I got rid of all that undercoating back there. I don't know how much weight I got a tub out here that I'm keeping all my scrapings in. I want to weigh it up at some point. So I got to paint that white yet. I'm going to have to sand it first so it bonds a little better. That stuff looks leveled out pretty smooth. I don't want to paint it and then have it start flaking off.
There is some prep work to do with it. Any kind of painted surface, just rub it with a red Scotch Brite
Yeah.
pad, just to give a little scuff to it.
I'll read the can. It's over there.
Yeah.
It's got its own little shelf in the corner over here. I don't know how the shelf life's going to be being a half empty can. I got more to do under there, but it says not to. You're supposed to cover it with something. I won't say mineral spirits, but there's some chemical you cover the top with so it doesn't get up, it doesn't get to the oxygen, to the air. And I just took a piece of plastic and made my own cap and gently set it over in the corner. We'll find out in the springtime when I need it if it's still good. I hope so.
Well, it looks like Dust Devil has fired up his live here, just in case the redirect doesn't work. There's a link to his live that looks like it's just starting up with Professor P. I think we'll just all head on over to his place and join the fun over there. Meantime, everybody in the chat, thanks guys for coming out again on Saturday. And Don, I've been pulling from you since the beginning there, man. It's gonna happen.
I ain't worried about it. We're getting there. All right, see you over there, man.
We'll see you over there. And again, thanks everybody for coming out. Like I said, hit that link over there or that I put up in the chat, or hopefully it redirects. I had a little trouble with it, I think, last week, but we'll all get there. And in the meantime, get out there and get some metal hot. We'll see you over at Brian's place at Dust Devil. Thanks again for coming out.